and Suzu on the Jet were causing major issues in the middle of the map.
Yeah, and we now prepare ourselves as we go forward. Mary a little unleashed this time. As said, a little bit more of the strain does go on Giuliano's shoulders. But there has been footage, but Mary straight up to task. Quickly traded out by Bastardo, though, as Mimi a little too late to get over here to try and trade that. You can already hear those Lears going through, coming in from Tube. Going to at least facilitate this push through towards the site. Timing from Mimi is exceptional to make that crunch.
That's a headshot coming towards the Daiki as well, but a trade out. Giuliano down to 21. Spike planted here, and actually a late mid flank coming through. Maybe we're going to have her head on a swivel. Posted up here, might fall just ahead of this yet.
Oh, the timing! Wow, Mimi just turned in time to see it before it struck, but now the 2v2. Nice positioning as well, Liquid!
Beautiful.
Fabulous work back in. I thought that one was wraps, Mike.
I mean, I thought the snake bite was going to come down for the shock dart to land, but regardless, the damage was done. Naxi finding a wallbang headshot. Like I said, that late reflank through double doors, really the crucial kill as part of that retake. Even initially here, see Mary posting up immediately towards mid to look for this opener. I started luckily trading it out quickly. Even here, Nachi, I don't know if it was just maybe a little bit of a miscalculation with the cage there, but exposed ahead of that hit. Not sure of the cam placement in the previous round, but whether or not that would have been a factor. It looks like the trend might just continue 4 towards mid here for G2. The one Ghost invested, the headhunter for Mary, so it's going to be the one over towards B. Very quick piece up mid.
Yeah, getting maybe the lay of the land at this point. This round probably won't come to too much considering the purchase. Bastardo already starting to farm it up too. That's good to see her finding a little bit of impact. Underhand naturally slowed down the roll a touch, but they have still made it towards sight. So quick bonk we come in. That's a nice little benefit, but how many of them left standing? Not too many. Petra trying to be a problem here. Mary, the one who could do some damage, but a mile away. Petra would have to somehow play her life to an extraordinary standard as Mary just going to make a mad dash. See if there's any more damage to be done. Let's have a little look. 2 more shots in the headhunter. Off angle. Jeez, Mary, you're damn good at this, but left alive here until then. Just going to get up the life, get ready for the next round.
A couple of big rounds from Naxi though. That Viper's Pit online for round 3.
Wow, that's good.
Could be a big ultimate to carry in here with G2 on their first full purchase. Bastardo again though, so active early on. I'm curious to see what actually is adjusted in terms of this defensive side for Liquid. Looking as if actually it's almost DRN to play in that buddy system with Bastardo, which is what you want to see after a couple of rounds on Ascent where it's kind of, yeah, if Bastardo doesn't find this kill, it could be wraps.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that I think like, oh, look, it's just a brawl in middle. Bastardo just straight down to the slaughter. G2 comfy with 2 here. Not much of a threat in the bonus so far at all. And it is a bonus, but still.
Yeah, but it's not what you want to see with the Viper's Pit invested here. That's to really slow things down. That's why I'm surprised to see such a commitment.
Yeah, not the ideal. Naxi's got to be on the money. Mary, sharp as ever, going to punish DRN. Swings out from elbow. So, Daiki and Naxi, and it's got to feel bad for Naxi as well. You've invested that all, you've done some brilliant early work, and, well, you've lost control everywhere else. I think you're right, it felt a little disjointed there in whatever the approach was meant to be.
I mean, if anything, pop it off contact, or once you have a little bit of information, I'm not sure. The knife lands on pillar in mid. You can see Mary suppressed, but I don't know if it's only her. That's why Bastardo's barreling down mid to try and find this opener, but yeah, a little bit confused here.
Shame. Because that feels like you have Viper's Pit, you have a little bit to work with. You could actually really build around that and challenge in a bonus. And it's fine, they're still okay for money here. They can get a purchase back in.
The flip side is the Viper's Pit goes down on A. They want to heavily focus on mid, look for that kind of other side of the setup. DRN immediately, though, going to shut down Mary. Mimi with the response.
Oh, sitting almost anti-flash for this, so DRN still going to punish Giuliano. Willing to brawl it out in middle.
Liquid have really switched this up from last time. And early on here, look how deep these kills are occurring. The lurk from Glance, though, actually going to punish Nachi on the retreat.
And this was one of the maps that really put Glance to the forefront of my mind. See if we can rekindle a little bit of that. One of the early players to really find their footing. There's Daiki going to be on leaning forward towards Broken. Patra aren't going to come in. Still has the Owl drone, so could check on this position as well. Mid still being watched and now removed.
That's a big kill.
This is down to the two players on the side, a 2v3, and they're logged in. Oh, it's messy as hell, but Daiki's almost on skate. There's something wrong with the bullets until then. Finally, they start hitting. Petra left in no man's land. Great trade for Naxi. And now just one. Glance with 2 to find. Finds the first, but gets spotted on the second. Gonna expect this position. And DRN unawares. The Red Bull clutch and Glance created that opportunity and shut down the round as well.
Unfortunately, Daiki not feeling confident about that retreat back to Archers just to stack up. Like I said, a key engagement for DRN towards Mimi, who was posted up looking for that flank to come through. A fantastic opener to this round, though. First as well, actually DRN, I think, gets Giuliano. Yeah. It's a huge positives once again for Liquid in terms of this mid control. But Glance able to find value in that lurk, and actually the one to come full circle, close things out.
How quickly the money just gets put into pieces. The ults they can lean on though, knives out. Does Mary consider this? Mastada quietly working through Tube, and now all attention can be drawn towards that B site. Start leaning that way regardless. Giuliano caught up in all that mess, but it is Mary to still find Bastarda. A little bit of a different position, but it's still the same sort of result.
Bladestorm gone as well.
And that's the main proponent that could have made danger in this round.
G2 actually cut noise here. You try and get a little bit of control over Elbow. And the advantage now in terms of the numbers. Daiki unnoted as of yet, but going to be very exposed from mid here. DRN's going to be
Did you
hurt.
hear this? Yeah, Giuliano definitely heard it. Okay, quick pick up towards middle. Yeah, you're right. Unorthodox in a bit of a weird position. Lovely shot there from Daiki. Trade though. And G2 mostly in control here. Glance.
Oh no.
She got the two-step on.
Yep.
It's got to feel bad for Naxi. After having the perfect start, it's all starting to go to pieces.
Yeah. G2 come back in. Hunter's Fury, Viper's bit available. Mimi one off the null command. DRN actually already with that available. But not a lot left in the bank after this purchase. Liquid here and an opportunity for G2 to really turn up the heat. Operator in hand now from Mary, so expect that opening engagement to slow down a little bit. Yeah, holding much deeper this time around. Yeah. This is the thing with this composition now, you can have, and there's two-pronged attack with two members of G2 looking for this opener. Giuliano being the second.
Quite like this posting of position though.
My eyes are down.
Gonna spot one. Pretty unorthodox here. Maybe they can work off Daiki as well.
No crossfire setup just yet though. Wonder if Daiki's going to come across towards Pillar. Yeah, you can see it happening now on the minimap. But conscious that there's a real lack of control over mid once again. Daiki actually forced off it now. So Nachi on an island almost.
And Bastarda's sitting so deep towards top mid that they can't help out at all.
Mimi's clearing that.
Mimi clears that. That is ridiculous. The forethought to just double check. And Glance is so quick with these entries as well towards the site. This round looks wraps already very early on. This is looking like you're going to get the plant and kind of solidify where you started with that sort of entry. But again, Mike, I think even beyond what we were talking about there were some issues that we started to see arising, some gaps in this. You know, a couple of the angles being very much not held. Crossfire's not in place. Liquid need a little bit of a kind of a retune here, I feel.
I mean, the crossfire wouldn't even... The fact that Mimi's hard clearing this is on the back of the spy cam, but... Again, it's a similar thing we mentioned on Ascent, where there's kind of one player from Liquid posted up, and it's all riding on that person winning that engagement.
Yep.
Or G2 giving away the opportunity. Liquid try and hold on to these 3 rifles at least. And Daiki and actually down to not a lot of credits left. It'll be Bulldogs and potentially Guardians, but G2 on the hunt regardless, because they have a massive bankroll established very early on in this half.
Yep, and actually he just wants to keep hold of this gun, hoping for it. Denies the first attempt at it, and they do get a walkway 3. So actually pretty important if they want to have a buy into this round. I do wonder if they're going to call the pause here just to try and address some of the problems, because I feel as though they were willing to fight for the first few, right? They've had that fight, they've had the dog in them, right? They were happy to brawl it out in middle. The fact that Mimi is still that committed to it, yeah, you're absolutely right. It didn't really matter what Daiki did at that point. It was already dealt with. It was a one and done position, maybe 2 at best.
swear G2
Close to that grand final, to lock in that upper bracket spot. So essential, considering how they've already been flexing that map pool. Anyone else walking into them would certainly be feeling at a disadvantage. And once again, a
Look at
brave
B-side.
attempt.
This is a massive commitment towards mid. This is the sort of thing we did see previously. Shocked I will actually deal with the tripwire, but Daiki posted up on it.
There.
We'll spot Giuliano, but no damage exchanged.
And the three players still waiting on the bottom of mid. I think G2 are expecting some aggression off the back of maybe taking some space. And have they felt this out? I hear these steps, so suddenly there's a... And they've just seen Cypher in middle. This should spur on the hit towards B now, and things are going from bad to worse. Bastardo goes down, but Daiki finally finding one. So that's brilliant. Taking down Mimi might give them a shot into playing this one back in. Naxi's still there, Daiki still there, DRN still there, but...
Able to set up and
Viper's
secure this post spawn with the Viper's Pit. Hunter's Fury available as well. Mary posted up with the operator outside the ultimate. See the attack come through, yeah. Lucky not to find that kill onto Daiki.
Edging closer. G2 ready to greet them. Nice work, big entry to start with. Petra going down, but Glance is still alive. Glance the one to keep this pit standing. Protection in place, trying to navigate around it to pinch towards Mary. Team Liquid somehow through the smoke, find the players, find the pressure, get themselves a defuse. I thought that round could have almost been done for, but absolutely not.
That looked sealed, honestly. The fact that even when the recon bolt is dealt with, Petra unfortunately hangs around, and I believe Daiki actually just forces the issue, charging into the Viper's Pit. This one slips through G2's fingers. Bastardo completely caught off guard by this double tube exit here.
I really thought the second that actually got found in towards middle on that Cypher, it was done for, because you saw the pace in which they just eyed up that B side, but hey, they'll still fight in them. They still clawed this one back, and they've got a good buy here.
This is sort of like, you watch the minimap every round, it's like, yeah, G2 wants the VOD. They know where the point of weakness is, where they need to manipulate on the map. Actually, Naxi very late towards B site here. Empress will be popped. Bastardo this time around will actually find one. The operator in hand, Petra will fall. So the next step is here for G2. Again, slow, progressive push here from Mary. Poison Orb over on tunnel here, going to cut off some sight lines. Naxi lucky to get away with her life there, but down to 49 HP.
Bastardo wants to help out, but there's problems. They have no eyes towards middle, still no information on it. There is still players lingering, so it's all on the site now. Mimi does get one, but gets quickly traded out now. Plant going to come in, and Bastardo still has to respect the wall in place. Support now on the way. An attempt at the res, but not to be. Right up, Mary finds them both. Daiki and Nachi now punished.
Teleport's ready.
Now problems for DRN and Bastardo. This cross is being monitored. It's being watched. The young lion herself gonna carry on. Still looking for more. DRN, I think, has to accept defeat on this one.
A little bit of a lack of awareness here of this angle presenting. Again, it's a very aggressive swing from Mary to just take it open towards Archers. But G2 come through and will close out round 8. Themselves 2 ahead. There's even actually after conceding the first blood. That mid-round looking perfect. Bastardo's just unable to swing that wall. Like I said, desperate to try and help out Naxi, but because of that initial tag from Tunnel, so paranoid of that angle.
Yeah, they're running into some hurdles now. Because again, look at this scoreline. Look at the way the rounds fell down. The first 2 are still the pistol rounds that came in. You see Bastardo dipping in and out, trying to be present, but that's line of sight there for Mary. And then watching this cross. Very present. Not even needing the other 2 players yet to come into effect. Fantastic stuff. But obviously on the other side for Liquid now, they are put in. Ooh, lovely shot from Bastardo. She is making a go of this, Mike.
Yeah.
She is desperately trying for her side.
And this is the comfort pit. We talk about Bastardo on the jet. Giuliano actually might get caught out here. DRN finds the first tag down to 61 for Giuliano. Was potentially trying to find that Naxi. Yeah, doesn't fancy that with the Spectre.
Yeah, but they've lost mid again. It's just the highway to hell here. Naxi has nowhere to really go in this. Going to be surrounded, forced out of position. It was inevitable.
Beautiful collapse.
Wall goes back up. These pinches towards the sites have been really nice. And sadly for Bastarda, similar position as before.
Finds the spike though.
That's true, and this is a great reply though. Mimi going to take over that CT site and now leave Bastarda to her own devices. How much more can one player do? Such an attempt so far. Does she have vision on this? What a
No
shot!
way.
Bastarda so hyper aware, dashes in. Does she find any more? 15 HP. Oh, she's got! And it might just be enough, but the timing on this, Giuliano
no clue.
playing with her mind. The Soul Reaper herself sitting waiting over by B main, and Bastarda has to go through the motion. She could be anywhere and still sees nothing. Looks away at Giuliano. The one to define it here. Bastarda made again a valiant attempt at that round.
Heroic attempt at that. And like I said, actually it's Giuliano in that lurk that just leaves Bastarda guessing. And even the plant's not good for Giuliano
No,
there.
it's
She
not.
has to hold that. Like I said, the timing of actually crossing the pillar there. Giuliano just catching it.
Just want to watch Bastarda's attempt to get this shot here. Beautiful. So very clear. Those positions. And remember, she was a glass cannon at this point. She had 15 HP. No extended fights were allowed. They all had to be that clean. A great attempt, but sadly, the story reads the same. 6 rounds sit with G2 here. And Liquid need a stepping stone, something to set them back in this game.
It reads the same. It's the same concerns as well. In terms of this mid control, G2 definitely aware of what Liquid struggled with previously. And once again, we're left looking for a response from Liquid. How to negate this pressure.
Out of turn.
Mary again, so quickly posted up on this angle. Start around the spy cam adjusted for that very reason.
But I like that they're trying to address middle. Because the problem is, as much as we have seen great hits towards B, it's that mid-pressure. Time and time again, the pinch has been so good. So maybe a little bit of early warning could be very valuable, and they finally have some players on the side. They finally have some support. They finally have bodies here to greet G2. Lovely adjustment coming out from Liquid, and the flank works out well. Giuliano, Soul Reaper herself. This would be a lot. Not gonna happen. Naxi keeps Liquid in this game.
This is what we saw though. Liquid did slip back into these deeper holds, and that necessarily didn't work. Every single time there was something they had to overcome in this regard. Obviously, the spy cam spawning out Mary early enough prevents any sort of movement. You've got to play so stationary on B site with Mary getting all the way up towards top mid. Felt a little brute force and ignorance here onto B site from G2. Whether or not now we're going to see any sort of adjustment. Real lack of presence towards A so far in this half for G2.
Yeah.
I think that all rides on how this engagement towards double doors goes in the early round.
And generally, I've got to say, DRN's been pretty good for it, playing it really well, not overstaying, still doing damage, still staying posted up. Petra going to try and send it, gets it, DRN's down, and now problem starting out for Bastarda. Could be next on the chopping block, does have some support there. Mary trying to clear as she goes. No one in towards Cave, and the flash instantly goes through. No hesitation, no second guessing, and on towards the site. Spike not down yet. Bastarda out of nowhere. I think that was just straight through the wall. And another. No, not this time. Mimi stemming the bleed, allowing for the plant to come in and securing the site.
Spike planted.
It's late flank coming through though. Trap obviously disabled so far. So Daiki in a position to really get something done. He actually spotted though the rifle barrel, and Glance will punish.
And now the other two trying to work their way back in from CT. There's still one prowling on the side. That's going to be Mimi.
A Glance is sat on lineups already. So even here, Natty going to find one first sent out already.
Oh,
Actually, even here,
yeah.
not even sure if this is going to work. There's no poison orb on the spike.
No, there's not. 3, 2,
She
1.
falls.
There it is. Does go down to it. Naxi falling in the end. And G2 carry on forward. Hadn't seen much of that A site. You noted it finally off the back of a little bit of information play. The ult coming through from Petra. It was time to commit.
A great follow-up from Petra as well. As soon as I think DRN spotted over towards the right side of site. Bastarda did actually find both of those through.
Yeah. Wow.
But Petra bang on the money with that Hunter's Fury to close out. Like I said, maybe G2's big win condition here towards A is that engagement towards double doors, right?
Yeah.
Bastarda's been pretty much absent since then. This time around on the map though, DRN stacked up once again. We did see a couple of flash plays with the two of them early on.
And it looks like Giuliano just, again, a little bit of brute force to it. Testing the early utility, does eventually back away from it, but that's going to ring some alarm bells, but it looks like they're going to try and maybe punish some of these rotations this time instead. Looking over towards A cave, that might be the case.
They've got to be aware of Bastarda doing this a couple of rounds now.
Yeah, I think someone died towards mid, not maybe it was Mary lingering around. There's been a couple of instances. These are some good audio cues to note where they're at. They can work off the back of this. I do wonder. Anyone's in audio range. Does Bastarda just hold? Because they're working in through double door. This actually could be a really good position. Playing back in from Bastarda if they can still do some damage on the way. Flash from DRN, playing by Yellow. Not gonna be the one to find it. It's Bastarda. There it is. This is the danger. They've lost control of Cave, and now they have to win back some part of this map. Putting it down into just two hands. Mimi one and Giuliano the other. They fought and won towards CT. Spike still down though, not planted. So many angles to worry about here.
Problem being Giuliano's way out in the open here. Naxi, they create so much pressure. That's actually Bastarda. They still think she's in main.
Still got the flash to play. Bastarda, perfect timing. Giuliano now gives away the game. 13 seconds. Has to make a move. Has to do something. Can't get back for that spike and plant. 5 seconds now. Time dwindling, and it's done. Team Liquid giving themselves maybe just a little bit of hope here. Just enough to go.
Able to hold her own, Lauren.
Yeah, absolutely. Bastarda being the saving grace in my mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really trying to keep things together, digging deeper than I expected in a couple of these moments. Hey, against a weaker side, you would have seen them falling to this. You'd have seen more clutches, more damage, almost pulling off the unthinkable a couple of times and getting it to this scoreline that is doable. It is not perfect, but it's manageable. At 5-7, G2 are in the lead, but just barely.
He had so much impact on that attacking side, and Bastarda, obviously different conversation already. She continued to excel.
She did. So we go back in on the half. It is grand final spot on the line, and the lowers waiting for the loser. Big information. Mimi readying the flash though. Giuliano ahead of it, already going to find one. DRN going down, and the flash is good, but no one going to swing through it. No one going to play ahead of it because the perfect positioning from Mimi. Going to punish Naxi on the way back through, but the spike does get planted. So Liquid at least having it on their side, but somehow Mimi is going unchecked in this. Petra doing the damage with the shock darts, and Daiki and Naxi better do something.
Shit, Naxi already playing towards the snakebite lineup here, almost just leaving Daiki to deal with it. Will fall. Actually, it's way too late here.
Yeah, it's already over half.
And even the poison orb's not on it.
Yeah, it's not good enough this time. An attempt was made, but a fumble there.
Yeah, and again, this is absolutely fine if you have the bodies on site to really run that clock down. But again, maybe a little bit of a miscommunication. There was so much pressure on site from Mimi and Giuliano as well that they can't really run out and plant on, you know, the attacking side of pyramids here. So I'm not sure if this is a miscommunication. Okay, must be nice. Saw Giuliano kind of struggling with the first one. Didn't actually swing off the flash initially, but that's how she finds the opener. Gets herself that overheal with the Sheriff on the pistol.
Let's go. Golf clap. 5-8. Buy comes in. 4 Bulldogs, 1 Spectre. So no messing around here. No light purchases really at all. On the other side, we do see a small investment. The Sheriff's Marshal. But for Liquid, I need to see them really come out swinging here soon. I need to see damage. I need to see all those little factors that make it look like it could be a good half, because little mistakes like that can really build into this. So I'm hoping to see them stabilize now.
Mary actually with a swing out. I'm not sure if the spy cam was dealt with there. Liquid will drift towards B site. Petra's also positioned. No pressure towards mid either, so Mary can pretty much post up on this angle. Unless anybody slips through elbow. So you're going to get the arrow off ahead of this knife as well. So big information.
One enemy remaining.
Petra with the cleanup.
Yeah, very sharp, very clean. Exactly what they need. No real big danger. Yes, Mary did fall, but that's fine. They still have the support system there. Actually, this would be a lot. Maybe find another. But Giuliano wants to close this down. It looks like, yeah, the double swing, and a third was there in case needed. G2 eyeing up that 10th round, get that one step closer here to those grand finals.
Yeah, have to see an answer back from Liquid here. for it to feel a little more comfortable. Light shield scattered across, actually even with the plant at the first. Some of those sheriffs. Mary with the accidental kill on the second there for DRN. Feels really bad. Yeah, minimal risk here on the side of G2.
Oh, nervous for him. I'm actually nervous for them. It's the light armor, it's the rifles, it's going to be whatever they can scramble together into this. And it's got to make it count, right? At 5-9, if you don't convert this, you feel that G2's just pushing it further and further. Liquid though, straight on towards the side. Yes, mid-presence, so quick TP, and Mary right back into the dart.
Mary's
get the info.
Mary's TP was actually on broken wall here, so punished with that recon.
Lovely stuff. Post plant quickly set up. Let's see where this really leans towards. 2 through elbow, 1 towards middle, and 1 CT. Big information on towards that back pillar, but still, Daiki, the first one to get that real test swing from Naxi to save her.
No.
But she falls. Both of them fall. And it's starting to become worse for where Bastarda completely blind. Naxi and Daiki, the last two alive, to try and hold on to this one. It is desperate as Glance is now getting towards the side, but time beginning to tick. And they just about stay alive.
By the skin of their teeth.
Jeez.
I'm not sure if Naxi's kind of trying to early commit back towards this post-plant position with the snake bites, but all nearly went totally wrong outside B main. Even what we're crediting G2 for, this felt so risky in terms of the setup. Even the Bastarda posted up on the backside here, just completely caught off guard by this pop flash from Mimi. Regardless, the first on the board here in the second half.
That's what they needed. Round by round. We'll draw this one back. Now we can see if they pass the test against the operator. Potentially a different look. We saw how different they looked when Bastarda had that to hand in the previous maps. Now we get to see that look here.
Grant's actually holding on to the wall here, potentially for this retake towards A if Mary does fall. This should be a big indicator here with the Owl Drone. And the Viper wall being invested. Mary has to respect that knife. Doesn't want to hang around, taking no risks, but finds the kill regardless.
Straight through the wall, I'm pretty sure. Didn't have any vision on that. Spray and pray, Giuliano.
Down A.
Gonna find DRN. And a little early on the peek back out there, but actually this is tricky, and Mimi wants to get amongst them. Hunter's Fury feels futile at this point, but Nexi is gonna find Mimi, so maybe a 3v2, maybe. Something off at the drop of the wall. Terrible timing for it. It's Daiki now in a 1v3.
Glance posted back up on default as well. Mary holding that angle with the operator. Imagining the swing comes through on her vision. Actually giving up the angle just for a second there, but confirmation regardless.
Gives her the first step in the door at least, but the problem is the angles. They're so favorable, but trying to thread the timing gets a little closer. Daiki
No way.
not giving up on this just yet. That's Mary dead. Needs to find 2 more. 1 to the left, 1 to the right.
Oh.
Impossible. Glance is the one to put him to 10. G2 now. Double digits achieved.
So actually, they could come back into this, well, 1 rifle in the hands of Nachi initially. Not sure if they're going to reconsider this purchase. But G2 looking really comfortable as well in terms of this ultimate cycle. And previously, actually, knowing that Liquid are trying to plant for this lineup, the spam from Giuliano just in anticipation of that open plant spot. You even saw on the heat map previously, it was over to the right side, a safer plant there. The punish there.
Seen that damage coming in, but I think we are seeing G2 getting into that final form here. There's a broken buy going to come into this round, and it looks quite simplistic towards A here.
Bastarda straight up double doors though. Trying to pressure towards Glance, but plays her life effectively. Does finding a Mimi though, just tapping away from stairs with that Guardian. Not be able to actually flash here for Glance to swing onto it, but not necessary to take any risks here.
Oh. Very nice. 4 more of those, please. Let's see if you got it in your Naxi. Lovely, okay.
Oh, okay.
3 more. Put in my request. Still got a chance here to do plenty of damage. No flank coming in anytime soon. So Naxi does have a fair bit of play on this. I think G2 now looking a little more regimented. Fear of God being struck into them here. That's why trying to hand, and Maxi gonna get a little closer. They don't know how close she's gotten. But Petra, unfazed by it. The first two were lovely. Not going to discredit that, but still, the round is G2's. And Liquid needs to start it now, Mike. This is where it's got to happen for them. Otherwise, G2 make it a 12. And it ain't just map point, it's match point.
Stack of ults available for Liquid here. Everything but the Hunter's Fury. So, best possible opportunity here. Oh, the second from Mimi's beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
Spike down A.
Cut to the glance, B-roll.
Yeah. Oh,
On the flip side, though,
one.
on the flip side, G2, thank you. G2 just won off the Tour de Force and the Hunter's Fury for the full house. Delayed peak here, but Operator posted up on Tube.
They're challenging Mary.
Yeah.
And she ain't backing away just yet. Suck around for a second, does eventually fall off, and you're right. Respecting that timing, we've seen that a couple of times now. Mimi, though, the one to pick up the slack here.
And actually, Mary to come back. They're posted up on the angle. You can see the ping on the minimap.
Flash in, turns it. Not really forced away too far. Being careful. Do they get that freebie to start with? Mary's getting curious again.
This is it where we test what we talked about, right? Do G2 give Liquid this opportunity? Do they re-swing onto this?
Now they're forcing him to try and fight for this. And there's going to be the Headhunter coming out. Bastardo overwhelms Mary. Lovely play. Filtering through towards middle, but this is all going to be heard. So Petra now positions herself, but gets pinched. Deals with one towards main, quick spin towards tunnel. Has to fall away towards broken, spots out another. Trying to buy precious seconds, do a little bit of chip damage, but it ain't enough, DRN. Brute forces their way in. Spike did get lost, that has to be picked back up, but still the final two players are pretty far off.
DRN on this angle pretty early on. Mimi's going to be the first to swing it. Good information now. Liquid need to hold back. You look at the credits, they have to hold on to as much money as possible here if they want to try and mount this comeback starting in round 18. I think Mimi and Glass are going to respect it. Just try and hold on to the Operator. Yeah, actually on the flip side, I think Mary would be in a position to purchase. I think Tour de Force was...
It wasn't far off, I don't
Yeah, I think it was 1 or 2 off.
Yeah.
I think Petra should have the Hunter's Fury as well. A little bit of investment here, though. Viper's Pit off the rip from Glance, and actually no command here to try and get the retake going. Okay, well, I think G2 probably want to hold on to the Operator more than Liquid want to continue to apply this pressure.
Yeah, not worth the chase with those funds. Liquid not done yet. They're still alive. 7. Mike, they've made it. At least with 4 players standing, right? A couple of these issues we're talking about, their money's starting to look rough, but they do have the ult starting to hit here. They're starting to have a couple of these elements coming through for themselves.
There's actually all 3 ultimates invested on the other side for G2. They do come out with the Tour de Force and the Hunter's Fury. Beautiful on the second there from DRN.
All right, if there's any
Can
chance.
they build upon that now, especially with 2 Sheriffs coming into this for G2? We have to buy in the next. Obviously, Mary saving the Operator, having the Tour de Force available as well. It's a big offset. First time really Liquid have shown presence towards Tube, and it was heavy, heavy focus. Unfortunately, Mimi and Mary not able to counter that.
Oh, the timing on this, though. Glance has gone all the way down here, DRN. That's your danger player gone as well. That's the Operator removed. Now, Glance.
Does Glance wrap back into shop?
I don't know. And the timing's interesting to me here
This
because
is so weird.
finding some I'm glad we were in free cam for once.
Oh, it's DRN that found it.
Yeah, out of it. Oh god. Oh, this round is not pretty. This isn't pretty Valorant. If we could skip the replay, I'd appreciate it. Petra and Mimi, last 2 to find any sort of damage here, but you've got to say, Liquid winning some very unorthodox fights, but you'll take them when you're in this position. You're not going to question it too much.
Petra's been rock solid though. What damage can she do on the way in here? Will be revealed. Atsi going to shoot the knife. That's not going to be anything this time around. DRN, another solid round from her. Potentially get Liquid their 8th bar. Any heroics from Mimi will find the first. The light shield and a flash actually in this round. The G2 did kind of try and hold on to some funds. Just waiting for anything Liquid are happy to give away.
Yeah. Nasty little aimers, Mimi. And I think Liquid know better than this.
Yes, yeah.
I think they're
They
well
probably
aware.
saw the Mimi highlight package from earlier on in the week.
Yeah, probably best to not go for it. And if they can exit as 4, keep that money in a really nice spot. They actually might have a shout at this game. And again, weird round though. I think we all saw that for what it was. Bit strange, odd timings coming through. Messy shots coming out from Glance, for example, but good positioning here and there. And there we go. Mimi will eventually be removed. So that rifle does not make its way over. We do still have that ult in play for Mary if she feels like she needs it, but still on the other side, Liquid far more versed in that form.
Definitely G2 actually going to pump the brakes here.
There we go.
I think the opener here onto Mary, not an awful lot she can do. We talked about previously, or credited her previously.
Yeah.
Really showing discipline in terms of these opening peaks. I said the RN starting to heat up though. Looks like it might even be a set piece towards B here with that snakebite lineup. Recon as well. Actually a little bit of a pace change here. Immediately though, G2 send 2 towards elbow. Giuliano and Mary, they might even catch the Aldrone here.
Oh, the timing. Now, last time around, I think it was Daiki who dealt with both of these players when they went for this pinch coming through from elbow.
But Naxi did overstep. That was the concern previously.
It's Fury. Gonna have the info on 1. Getting the tag. 2 tags, I believe.
Yeah.
Giuliano chomping at the bit as well. Wanted to get into this one. 2 players stuck here. Oh, and the spray's good from Mary. Finds 2, not the 3rd this time. Naxi sharp as hell.
Spike down.
And now we're in a 2v2. The spike's still not planted. The Hunter's Fury being so disruptive to this plan. Glance towards CT, Mimi roaming towards elbow, and the 2 players for Liquid halting.
Discipline once again. Glance not over-peaking here, but the paranoia building about Mimi's positioning. She's all the way over towards tunnel. They're trying to stack up here. Glance going to find the headshot. That's Spike noted.
Oh no. Now Naxi's in a world of trouble. Wants to find this fight on CT if she can. Spike down. Tunnel. Be the next target. Sprays and gets it.
30 seconds left.
Did they note Mimi? I still don't think they know about Mimi. It was a
Beautiful shot for Mimi to close it out.
really nice. I'd love to see it from that perspective because, man, that was quick as anything.
A similar problem once again, though. It's Naxi that kind of receives that pressure towards window. Straight away, Mary and Giuliano. No fear whatsoever.
Look at this. Oof.
Beautiful transfer as well, even with a wallbang. Naxi did her best.
Wow.
2 sharp responses here.
Made something of it.
Said Mimi able to reposition effectively. And that's 12 on the board for G2. Still got some ultimates here for Liquid. Still got some money in the bank as well. You heard it right there, the tour de force online here. Mary's going hunting.
Oh,
Punish,
there
though.
it is. Perfect. Daiki denies. Now the spike is still committing towards that A site a little, but still, a 5v4 is the dream. This is a start they could build off of. But look at G2 posted close. They haven't seen this yet. Glance tucked in the corner. Do they go through the motions to check this? Are they diligent enough? She's going to hear this. Does she consider going ahead? No, plays patiently. Again, didn't get checked on. Now Glance pulls the trigger, denies Bastarda. That's your headhunter, your superstar gone for Liquid. Mimi, again, waiting for that next layer of contact potentially as Glance is still alive. She's yet to be pressured out of here. Finally has to get away. Finally falls off this and still stays alive.
That's Giuliano elsewhere, struggling to find this kill. Onto Nachi in the back lines. Nachi tagged up down to 30 HP. A 4v4 though. He's going to be able to recover from this position. Glance down to just 47 as well. That's just Fury. Well, actually find Glance off the rip.
But Mimi, they still don't know about Mimi. And she's still standing here. Great trade for Naxi. Spike's still in play. They can get this down. Viper's Pit's going on. Okay.
Just Petra Walkers.
Petra's
That's
trying
going
to.
to give it away.
That's so good, but they weren't expecting it so quick. Daiki, fantastic turn. Petra's gone down and Giuliano was left on 30. Unable to get herself healed up just yet. They'll have an idea, but how much so? 1 Lear ain't enough. Daiki with the heroics this time. I was worried when Bastarda fell, but Daiki picking up those reins and keeping Liquid in this match. 3 still standing.
Just about everything burnt out now for Liquid in terms of the ultimates. And G2 back down to just Sheriffs here.
30 seconds left.
Mary digging so deep on mid to try and find that opener with the tour de force. Daiki fired up. I called it out at halftime. She really looked electric in the second half previously. And continuing to do so here. A little bit of a bankroll developed here, actually, for Liquid. G2 have to ride this out, like I said, with Sheriffs. Or a Sheriff. I wanted to take too many risks here. Mary with a headhunter as well, though. Exploring mid once again.
This should be the round for Mary to do a lot with, but looking to be disruptive. We're seeing a default here for Liquid, leaving a little bit of room towards middle. There is that gap
Nobody
in
looking
play.
this way from Cannon, though.
Does make me a little worried here, because that's two players very vulnerable now.
Droning from deep as well. Dykey's dead here.
And all about timing. Yeah, absolutely. Dead as anything buried. Mary gonna slip away into the night as well, fall off this. Doesn't need to give up too much. Quite indicative, but maybe by the wrong idea. But they've still had that contact towards A, so they've got a good idea of what's going on. They can have 3 players here now.
Bastardo going to get ahead of that snake bite. Try and pressure on the backside of this wall here. Mimi already down the backside of Tube. And Nachi's not there holding it right now. Needs to hightail it towards Spawn. Bastardo going to find a nice headshot though.
Nice.
Will pick up Mimi. Great timing on that.
Yeah, okay, a lot of the threats have been dealt with now. Mary and Giuliano, the last 2 alive, and maybe I've underestimated them a little bit here. Giuliano looking for it, not going to get it. Bastardo, safe pair of hands, double digits now for Liquid. Fighting back into this game.
Not giving up just yet. And this is awkward as well. I have to see exactly what is left in the tank for G2 here. I'm talking about the finances. No command available. 1 away from that Viper's bit. Nothing else within touching distance. We'll get the operator in the hands of Mary. Like I said, if Liquid win out here, it's like we might see an overtime.
So much discipline being shown, so much resilience from Liquid being shown, but Giuliano could not care less. A leer and a frag, and it's the start that G2 wanted. Play it to the good now, 5v4.
That's Bastardo down as well. Been so impactful in the second half.
Yeah.
Trying to secure this B site hold here. Aljon going to come through. DRN actually going to find one onto Mary here. Mimi with a response.
It's starting to get scrappy, Mike.
Yeah, very scrappy.
Yep,
2 or 3
pressure.
fights going on elsewhere on the map.
Starting to show. Glance still cool, calm, collected. Giuliano daring someone to try and cross and get to Glance with the bodyguards on duty. DRN still on their knees. It is 2 standing. Daiki closing in. They're trying to get towards Glance. Glance has finally confirmed that kill. That did go through. Giuliano leans on in. And now the 1v2 for Naxi. It's all on the line. Grand finals calling for G2. Popsio and Naxi trying to play to the timing. All now drops. Where is Giuliano? Gone! Makes the appearance. And G2 make it to the grand finals.